Chương trình này được bảo trợ bởi
Family Joy, tổ ấm y tế của mọi gia đình, 714 898 0765.
Hi, welcome to the OC Health and Education Show on Little Saigon TV. I'm your host, Julie Yip. To us, OC stands for community because we believe our community thrives when we come together. That's why we thank you for joining us each week on Tuesday evening on channel 56.10 and on Wednesday morning on channel 14.2. This is a bilingual English and Vietnamese program dedicated to educating, empowering, and inspiring our community. Today on our show, we have my good friend, Keith Reza. Keith Reza is a comedian. Today, he's going to bring us on his journey into finding his passion in his job. You know, as the pandemic has happened, many of us, lost our jobs or were displaced to having to move to a virtual work reality. As we come back into the workforce, many people also are revisiting whether they want to go back to their job. So today we want to help promote an upcoming comedy show because, life is a comedy show. Sometimes we just have to laugh when all the challenges occurs. Julie Yip kính chào quý vị khán giả của Little Saigon TV trong chương trình Kiến thức, y khoa, gia đình và xã hội. Julie rất hân hạnh hôm nay mời được Keith Reza. Keith Reza là một người comedian với một người bạn thân của Julie. Luôn luôn trong mấy năm đây, Keith với Julie làm rất nhiều việc trong cộng đồng và làm gây quỹ cho mấy trẻ em. Với hôm nay, Julie có thời gian nói chuyện với Keith về cái công việc làm của Keith mà chú ý nhất là cái employment and returning to work. Keith, welcome to the show.
Oh.
Can you say chào quý vị?
Chào quý vị.
There, chào quý vị means, welcome and, to the Little Saigon TV, the LSTV audience.
Oh.
And I thank you so much for being a friend all of these years and, working with me alongside in the community.
Of course. Thanks for having me. I have a question. Did you just say the exact same thing you said in English and Vietnamese?
Not exactly.
Oh,
I can't even translate my own work.
I was going to be like, that's very impressive.
Yeah, so Keith, tell the audience about who you are. And what have you done in the community? What kind of work have you been doing?
Well, my name's Keith Reza. I'm a stand-up comedian. I also have autism, Asperger's syndrome. And the work I've done for the community of OC Autism is doing the shows for them, and sometimes I volunteer at their events that they have. What are some of your paid gigs? So let's talk about that. My paid gigs? Oh, I do comedy, and then the pandemic happened, so I didn't do comedy. Now the pandemic's kind of over, so I'm about to do comedy again.
What is the upcoming show that you have?
I have an upcoming show this Saturday at the Rec Room with Pablo Francisco. I've been trying to talk to my good buddy Norm McDonald, who...
I hope he's watching the show.
Yeah, he said he was. I've been trying to talk him into coming down, but he's like, if there's a basketball game, I don't know if I can. I don't know. But it'd be cool to go back to doing comedy with my friends. So that's my passion in life, is just making people laugh.
Yes.
So.
Thưa quý vị, hôm nay Julie có hân hạnh mời được Keith Reza trên cái show. Keith là một người comedian, là nói cái lot of joke lên đài. Keith có rất nhiều kinh nghiệm về làm trong nhiều cái venue. Một cái người mà hướng dẫn Keith là Norm McDonald. Norm McDonald là một người comedian rất là nổi tiếng trong cộng đồng. I just said, Norm is a very well-known name, and he happens to be your mentor.
Yeah, he's a very good friend of mine.
Did he pay you to say that?
No. I mean, he probably gets sick of me saying it, but I look up to him. I have a family, but then I also have a comedy family, and he's like my comedy dad.
Oh.
So I love him very much, and I also love Lojo, who's his assistant, and they're very good to me, and it's when you're a comedian, it's very important to have, especially since it's like Norm's like my favorite comedian ever, and the fact that he supports me and believes in me, that just means everything to me. So it's very important to have that in comedy, especially when you have autism and you don't see social cues very well about like what's professional or not professional, and the fact that he brings me up and helps me and guides me, that just means everything to me.
He sounds like a great man. I hope to meet him someday.
Oh yeah, I
Yeah.
mean, maybe if there's no basketball game on July 3rd, he'll come down and do some comedy. But-
Okay, well, thank you, Keith. Thank you for sharing with us, your mentor and what he's done for you. I want to ask you, why did you choose comedy? As did you grow up and say, when I grow up, I want to be a comedian?
I was actually, I was very nonverbal growing up, and I went to a lot of speech therapy and stuff. And I remember I used to watch these young HBO comedy specials with my dad. The first one I watched was the 13th Young Comedian special. David Spade was on it, Fred Stoller, this guy named Drake Sather, and it was hosted by Dennis Miller. And I remember watching it, and I just thought, oh my God, these guys are making me laugh, and I'm like 12, Of course, it was filmed in the 80s, but like it was just on TV. So I just thought that it must be the coolest job ever. So I started reading comedy books, and I started watching more comedians. And my first time performing, I went to an open mic night when I was 15. It was at like a mom and pop coffee shop. They had $20 for the best joke, and $20 for a teenager is like $100.
Yeah.
You know? So I won the $20 because I was the only person who signed up. But so that's my dream, and I'm very fortunate to be one of those people who keeps pursuing it,
Yeah, and I tell you this, and I don't know you believe me, but I think you're an inspiration. And I think, that's one thing is that, every time I see you, you always say, you know what, I know exactly what I want to do in life. This is my passion, this is what makes me happy. But I remember you always saying that my passion is to make other people happy.
Yeah.
And I love how you said that. And, I say you're an inspiration because you never give up. And that's what I love about you, Keith.
I think that's part of the Asperger's, where I don't know the meaning of give up. And so I'm very persistent, and I like if there's a door that shuts, I do everything I can to sneak underneath the door or over the door, or I'll break the door. I don't know, but I don't let a door stop me. I always move in directions to get back on path. At least I try to.
Well, thưa quý vị, hôm nay Keith chia sẻ với mình là Norm Macdonald là một người rất là thương mến Keith và hướng dẫn Keith được. Keith chia sẻ hôm nay là Keith cũng có là triệu chứng tự kỷ hay Asperger. Nhiều em hay nhiều người lớn mà bị tự kỷ thì có thể không có hiểu hết, mà cái phần mà Keith nói đó là cái tự kỷ giúp cho Keith tiếp tục làm việc đây, không có bao giờ give up. Julie thấy là rất là quan trọng. Keith, I was just saying in Vietnamese that you mentioned that you have Asperger, and one of that I guess let's call it a power was that you never give up. I think what I want to share with the audience today is that when someone have a disability or when they have autism, that can get in the way of them pursuing their dreams or even getting a job. Research shows that about only 20% with people with disability hold a job.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
So the number is not in our favor. But what I want to share with you is that, when we are a community, when we come together, like when Norm is with you or when we work together, we create jobs and we create opportunities.
Yeah.
And I think that's one thing is that, I hope this show will make it an opportunity for more people to learn about who you are. And what you have to offer, and to be a partner as we move forward. What would you say is your biggest strength or assets?
My biggest strength or assets in the workplace, or
just in general?
Well, I like to think I'm a pretty creative guy, funny guy. I think that I have a very sophisticated sense of humor, where sometimes I'll think it's funny, but no one else will. And I'm like, but come on, that's funny. But I have to explain it over again, and then eventually people will be like, it's funny, or kind of funny. I don't know. But I think that that's a good strength to have, because it cheers people up, I feel.
Okay. Well, Keith, thank you so much for sharing, a little bit about who you are, the people that make you the person that you are today. Definitely after the commercial break, we'll have more opportunity to learn more about, your talk show, your radio talk show that you have, and a little bit more detail about, other upcoming events. So thank you so much for being here today. After the commercial break, we'll definitely have more opportunity to talk to Keith Reza. Cảm ơn quý vị đã tiếp tục theo dõi chương trình Kiến thức y khoa gia đình và xã hội.